10 years ago was a time in my life where I was starting to really get implemented into my church, Gateway. I had started leading support groups for girls with unplanned pregnancies a few years before that, not knowing that God was going to make this into a nonprofit, into a movement. We just were focused on the women in our community and how to love and support them. And it got to a place 10 years ago where we were like, there is a big need. Churches were coming to us from everywhere, like saying, this is really cool. Will you show us how to do it too? And God started showing us that it's bigger than what we thought. Like, we have been focused on helping the girls, which is amazing, but He wants us to help people and help the church be the church.
So I met at a cafe in South Lake with the founders of Embrace Grace. And first thing I said to them is, so why do you want to have this meeting? And Amy said to me, well, we've been praying for somebody with gray hair who's done this before, who could help us do it. After I got over the gray hair part, which was very true, I said, I think that's what I'm called to do, is to help organizations be their best. And we started from that day when there were no employees. There was some donated money and an idea of how could we take this to more churches.
And so we just took it and ran with it 10 years ago. And it's just amazing to see the doors that have opened. Even leading Embrace Grace, I feel like I have front row seats to miracles. The amazing stories that we hear every day. One of our favorite things to say around the office is, guess what? Because every day, the testimonies, the glory stories, the salvations, the babies saved, the lives impacted, we just love the stories that come from it.
Let's be honest, churches aren't known for being ready to take care of broken people, no matter how they're broken. They should be, but we've evolved this culture of church as a place where I come to study my faith, kind of like a home for saints as opposed to a hospital for sinners. And I think Jesus intended churches to be the hospital for sinners model. The point is, it's a place where broken people can come and be healed. And that's what it should be. And the core of this is the leaders of Embrace Grace. They know that. And they know these girls are hurting. And they receive them with such loving arms, and then they gather others around them to prove that love. There's the impact right there. Is I've walked into some place where somebody loves me unconditionally and points me to possibilities I never thought were possible.
I was definitely very independent. My mom always said I was a very independent kid. I did everything on my own very early. And I've always been very quirky, very outspoken, just open with who I am. Like, I've never hidden anything about myself. After I turned 18, I moved out and I rebelled. I started with the little things and then it just kind of progressed over the years. Not having family around me, not having the right group of friends. I didn't have anybody, and that was me moving from boyfriend to boyfriend. And if I was with somebody and I was high, I was happy. I resented the world and just thought that nobody wanted me, nobody cared about me, so why change? I just remember some nights I would lay there and be like, my heart's gonna explode, and I still didn't care, you know what I mean? The person I was, I was days from, I could have not woken up any day now. There was days that I was I can't believe I'm still alive. It was hard. So, sorry. Obviously, I had no idea I was gonna be pregnant, but I took a pregnancy test, and it took 6, because I was I gotta be sure that this is real, And it took 6, and I was oh my gosh, there is a human growing inside of me. There's a real baby, And I was with a guy that obviously was doing the same things that I was doing and not making good choices. And when I was 3 months pregnant, he was like, get out of my house. And I was okay, knowing that I had nowhere to go, I had nobody. I depended on him and his family, I kept thinking this baby does not deserve me as a mom. This baby deserves so much better. There's no way that I can be the mom that this baby's gonna need. I am nothing but a drug addict. I have nothing to give him or her. At the time, I I had nothing to give. I had an old car that barely worked. I was living out of my car. I was, you know what I mean? Like, there was no way that I was gonna be able to provide for this baby. I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I need to come home. And she was like, I've been waiting for you to say that for years. I think that, like, I thought that they looked at me and they were like, wow, she's just a drug addict now, you know? But then when I came home, like, my mom was like, no, buddy, I prayed for you every day. I prayed that God would just, you know, bring my daughter back, get her off the drugs, get her out of the streets and bring her home. So when I came home, my mom was like, why don't you go to Embrace Grace? I was like so nervous, you know, I was like, I don't know, like, just because of where I was before I got pregnant, you know, I didn't think that anybody could really, like, love me anymore. Like, I didn't feel lovable. I didn't feel like anybody would be proud of me or, like, want to help me. Like, I just was, like, scared to go because I didn't want them to think, like, she's an awful person, like, she shouldn't be having this baby. My train of thought, like, with churches used to be that, like, you were so judged by everybody there. Like, if you weren't a perfect Christian or you weren't, like, living in God's, like, walk, you know, like, you weren't meant to be here. When you walk into Embrace Grace, like, there's a whole different, like, love there. Like, you know what I mean? And so they were like, we love you and your baby. The way they would tell me, like, you're a wonderful mom already. You're so brave for being here. You can, you know, you are this baby's mother and he's, you know, he's so loved. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I can be a mom. I can change and I can make him happy and give him the life he deserves. And so I went every week. I didn't even, like, I never missed a week of Embrace Grace. Like, I looked forward every single week for that meeting. And it's been the most amazing experience ever.
When a young single woman discovers she's pregnant, she goes to a pregnancy center for help. And there, she receives a free love box to encourage her and invite her to an Embrace Grace support group. By attending the group, she'll get connected to a pro-love church. And at the end of the 12 weeks, the church throws her an amazing baby shower. Our hope is that through the course of the group, she'll receive healing and salvation. The baby is born and generations are changed. Beyond that, she becomes part of a church family that surrounds her with love and support for now and the future.
I've been asked from time to time, you know, why is Embrace Grace so special? Why do girls come to this? Number one is they have the need. They have not been supported in such a way. And the curriculum, I mean, that's a nice kind of educational word for it. But it's really a series of planned encounters with somebody who loves you. The leaders who lead these groups love these girls. And planned encounters that prove to you that God loves you.
We provide a 12-week curriculum, training, everything that the churches need to know how to help the women in this situation. And then we ended up launching Embrace Legacy for the dads. We have Embrace Life, which is for young single moms. We're giving the church all the tools that they need administratively so that they can lead it effectively and be able to spend even more time with loving on the moms and helping them practically, spiritually, and emotionally.
My biggest thing is do not stop. Like, go through the doors, go experience this, because it's something that, like, it'll change your life. The love there is such unconditional, like constant, like they check on you all the time, they call you all the time. If you need them, they are there for you. You don't need anybody else behind you if you have Embrace Grace. Like I'm telling you, they were like my village family. Like it was an amazing experience every single week.
We want the church to be one of the first places a girl runs to instead of the last because of shame and guilt. So we just give the church all that they need to be able to host their own group.
Like my Embrace Grace group was like, we are still to this day, like talk every single day. And my mom actually got me this bracelet for the Mother's Love for my 1 year sober, which is last February. And she was like, the mother's love is what changed you. Like God gave you this baby because he was like, this is what's gonna change your whole life. And my son has literally changed my entire life. I would never go back to what I was before because of him.
The Love Box is this incredible invitational gift that any girl who has a positive pregnancy test or who is abortion vulnerable or abortion determined can receive.
It's completely donor funded. It's given to pregnancy centers totally for free if they have Embrace Grace groups within 20 to 30 miles of their center so that they can give them as an invitation to these girls. It has the onesie inside, the best gift ever. It has the Brave journal. It has a handwritten letter from people that speak life into someone that just found out they're pregnant. It has the Bump in Life book full of testimonies of girls that chose life.
We introduced the Love Box in 2015, and since then we've distributed over 43,000 Love Boxes.
I love that in such a polarizing issue for a lot of different people, with pro-life being a polarizing issue, that Embrace Grace is known for their love. They're known for allowing anyone to come through Embrace Grace, whether you believe in God or you believe in something else. This is a safe place for you to come to. And so we want God to get all the glory with Embrace Grace because there's no way we could have made it this far without him. I mean, it's just amazing, all of the things that he's done for us. But I love within the pro-life movement as a whole that we really have become known for our love, and it's only because of the people, the donors, the people that lead groups, the volunteers that put together Love Boxes, every single person.
When I think about how far Embrace Grace has come, it's easy for me to feel pride until I remember that God did everything. We just said yes to him.
We're really excited about this new season in front of us. It just feels like a moment in time where things have changed politically, things have changed within the church. The pastors and churches are starting to become more aware of what their role can be in helping empower women.
Our job is to equip churches to love girls through Embrace Grace program. There are thousands and thousands of churches that don't know about us yet. And so the opportunity to get out there further is limitless, and we now have the infrastructure and the beginning resources to start multiplying instead of just adding to what we've been doing.
We've seen it happen already in smaller scales, but we're excited to see what it can happen on a huge scale.